called again?
Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
We're not on
You
stage.
wanted the best? You got the best. The hottest podcast in the world. Convincing Idiots in 5, 4.
And welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean.
I'm Brian Gen X.
Oh, yeah.
And on the millennial screen, we have Nick. And we are
a
Convincing
returning
Idiots.
favorite.
Woo! We are Convincing Idiots. We are three friends representing three different generations, getting together weekly to talk about all pop and nerd culture type things. If this is your first time joining us, you can feel free to go and follow us on all the social media accounts. You can find all of those on our link tree. Just Google Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE, and there you will find links to all of our social media accounts, as well as our email address and different platforms that you can listen. To our podcast. You can also find that information on our very own website. That's right, a site on the World Wide Web just for us, made by us, for you. That is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. Go there and check it out. Also, I have exciting news. So I don't want to, I don't mean to act like a big shot here, but we went to Facebook, right? We went to our boy Zuck, and we were like, yo, Zucks, is there a way that people can, listen to our podcast directly on Facebook? Is there a button you can add or something like that? And he's like, boys, I got you. You say it, it's done. He said something about as much traffic as we bring to Facebook.
Mhm.
It was no problem. He would do anything for us. So we appreciate that. So now you can go to our Facebook page. You can listen to our podcast directly from Facebook. So our boys, Marky Mark and the Zucky bunch over there at Facebook, the good people, we really appreciate them. They hooked us up. Don't even bother to look at any other podcast that you listen to. They probably don't
Or fact check
have
that story.
feature. Right. So, but anyway, yeah. So appreciate Facebook for hooking us up with that. So now you don't even have to follow a link. If you already follow us and like us on Facebook, then you can listen to the podcast directly from there. So that is big news out of the CI camp this week. We're very excited.
God damn it, you're on Facebook anyways. Just hit play.
Just hit it. Just listen to it while you're
Mhm.
scrolling around, and it's a good time for everybody. So. Anyway, we have gathered. I missed you guys last week. I was out. I was not here. But Brian, what is new in the 2 weeks that passed? What have you been up to?
Tell them how good the episode was. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, we had an enjoyable episode last week. I mean, certainly we always miss when one of us is not here, but Dean and I
I heard Dean spoke a lot, actually.
Yes.
Was that it is?
It was
a lot of talking.
way too much.
No, not at all. It was a good episode on time travel content, and we talked about on our mini-sode if we would risk going back in time. So just good content. So if you haven't listened to that yet out there, go back and check that out. For me, nice weekend. Friday, Allie and I went with good friends Jim Cunningham and his fiancee Tina. We saw a very fun Kiss tribute band at the local Goodyear Theater over in Goodyear Heights. Mr. Speed, they're called, and they dress up like Kiss they wore Kiss Dynasty outfits, which is very, very cool.
Ooh, nice.
They just a lot of fun. It's the closest thing you're going to get to young Kiss, at least in this area, and a lot of fun. And then went out of town for a night Saturday, and won't get into details on this podcast, but NFL football this weekend. The divisional playoff games were some of the greatest divisional playoff games you're ever going to want to see. So
it might be the greatest playoff like weekend ever.
Yes,
it was amazing.
Pretty amazing stuff to end with the Kansas City and Buffalo game, which is astounding. But so that was my nice cool weekend. So, Dean, what's up with you? How are you, sir?
I am well. I would like to personally welcome young Nikolai back into the fold. We missed you tremendously.
No,
Brian more than me, but still the missing was there.
It doesn't matter who it comes from, as long as someone cared.
We equaled out to a lot. I had a good weekend. Spent it with the girlfriend, and we all had a good time. Watched football games. I didn't do much. I do want to say real quick, because I'm noticing if you're watching on YouTube that this is not some weird upside down cross going on back here. My son drew Venom hanging upside down, so
okay.
I didn't want that to look like the upside down cross and everything. I noticed in the right.
This is the metal show.
My son does some of the art for the background here, so that's one of his pieces. So
very good.
Yep, that's about it with me, guys.
Good
Nick, how are you, sir?
Nikolai.
I'm good. I'm doing well. I had a good weekend as well. Did some shopping. What did we do? Nothing too crazy. Went out and did some shopping and stuff like that. I did. Fits nicely. Very supple. Also got the dog groomed on Sunday and just doing shoveling and stuff. You know, we're all
just wait till
getting hammered with the what?
That you got. Oh, you mean the actual dog? Never mind.
Oh,
go ahead.
Anyway, we've been getting a lot of snow, so just shoveling and stuff, and that's it. Nothing crazy.
Very good.
So
it's a quick how you do's, fellas.
It is. Let's get right into the shit. Let's go.
Let's get to the meat of things.
All right, so you guys will get into idiot reviews. Have you guys seen anything new since our last episode you want to mention? Again, it may be a new show or something new to you that's been around for a while.
New to me. I want to go real quick. I got two real quick. Marvel One Shot. They're 8 short stories on Disney Plus. I guess they were on the original DVDs, different variations of DVDs. Thor and Iron Man and all that. There are 8 different stories that kind of give you backstory to some of the Marvel scenes or contents, and it kind of gives you a little fun little point of view, but it's told through kind of the eyes of Agent Coulson, who's played by Clark Gregg, and Agent Stillwell, who is played by Max Hernandez. They're about 3 to 15 minutes long, but a quick watch on Disney Plus. I highly suggest you go ahead and watch them. They're fun. Give you kind of some back characters, new characters that you might not know was in the background or whatnot. So, and then the other one, I just watched this today. I was searching around on Peacock Network. It is True Story with Ed and Randall. Ed Helms and Randall Park. The two actors sit down and interview just a regular person, and they don't know what the story's about to be. They're taking it in brand new, and it's normally like a wild, crazy story. Like episode 1, it's about football. That's all I'm going to say. A fan in football. At the very least, guys, watch episode 1. It's a great story. And then in between the stories, they have comedians reenacting the story that's being told. So, yeah, highly recommend that one. That's very cool. I'm looking forward to continuing. With the series.
So the free version of Peacock or the Peacock Plus or whatever it is, the paid version.
I cannot answer that because I have the Peacock.
Well, you
Plus.
could tell us.
You got
it's
Cock
okay.
or Cock Plus.
You could tell us. It's all right.
No. I mean, I don't know what
I'm
version
kidding.
you can
I'm
see
joking.
it on.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
He doesn't want to say he has cock plus, but he has.
And
He pays for it.
I always got
He
cock
pays
plus.
for it.
I pay for the cock.
That's what the kids call it. That's the street lingo. It's just a shortened way of saying
I didn't think we were
Mm-hmm.
going, and then I didn't think we were going to start telling everybody how we met. But all right, let's do it. I answered a Craigslist ad.
All right. Awesome.
Well, you guys would be proud of me because I've been doing all the keeping up with all the shows. Okay.
Mm.
So I'm assuming you guys talked about Peacemaker
Right,
already.
so Falcon and Winter
Yes.
Soldier, go.
Okay. All right. I'm not of all time. Okay. Okay. So you guys talked about Peacemaker, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Watched all that so far.
What'd you
Awesome.
think?
Enjoying it very much. It's
Good.
very funny and ridiculous, and I like it. It's great. Also, Righteous Gemstones season 2. Caught up to that. Up to
Me too.
date. Love the
Fantastic.
first season. Continues
Love
to
it.
be great. It's, if possible, maybe even more ridiculous so far than the first season,
Can
which is
you
a lot of
love,
fun.
especially season 2 so far, can you love John Goodman anymore?
Right. The fact that he's just giving less of a shit as it goes on,
And
he's just
shows
kinda,
like what kind of badass he is at
Yeah.
70-something years old?
Brian, have you watched that show yet? Or have
I
you
haven't
watched it?
shit. I will
Okay.
watch. It's Dean. Dean's got me interested, but now you got me
It's so
interested,
good.
more
Yeah.
interested as well. So yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah. And then what else? Oh, I'm caught up on Book of Boba Fett. So that's the thing. I'm
Mhm.
like, all these other shows, you guys are talking about it every week. The one show I'm staying caught up on, we don't ever fucking talk about it. We don't ever talk about Book of Boba Fett.
Well, he wasn't busy, Brian. He didn't have something to do last week. He took last week off so he could catch up on all the shows.
Yeah.
He took-
Book of Boba Fett.
He locked himself in this room from his family, his job, the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and just binged all these shows.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
tired of taking the shit. It's time to watch stuff.
All right. So we're caught up on Book of Boba Fett. So how do you think it's going?
It's okay. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
That's kind of what we said.
It's certainly not The Mandalorian. It's not giving me I think, I don't know if I said it on this podcast or not, or if it was just us talking amongst ourselves, but I don't know if we remember. To me personally, The Mandalorian did not come out guns blazing. It
did
took
not.
a minute to give a shit about what's going on. You kind of don't know where this is going. What's the deal? They had to build the storyline up, and whether this is one season or not, I think it is giving you the backstory that you wanted from Boba Fett, so that's cool.
all we're asking.
So yeah, I mean it's fine. It's good. I keep watching it. I haven't stopped watching it or anything. I'm going to watch it anyway.
You're going to see The Mandalorian on there next week.
Are you?
Oh, you didn't notice that? At the end of the episode.
Well, it kind of
episode,
leaves them off.
He said, we're going to need muscle, and she says, we're going to need muscle. He goes, I know who to call, and it played his that flute music of his.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, but it does pick up on them in the desert together. It kind of leads you to believe that they're getting ready to tie into their entrance into the Mandalorian. So, but yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's definitely not what the Mandalorian was, or it's not must see TV per se. But I think it's good. It's fine. If you like Star Wars and you like the character, I think it's enough to keep you there, and it's enjoyable. So I like that.
I said it on the past podcast. The actor who plays Boba Fett said in an interview, the last episode, the finale, is ridiculous. He says you're going to get everything you want.
Cool.
So what that means, who knows?
Right.
Han Solo.
That Salacious Crumb cameo's coming, baby. He's alive. He's
Fingers
alive.
crossed.
It's everything I want. It's everything and the only thing I want. That's all I want.
Possible. All right. Well, I think the only thing new I've seen since our last episode, Ozark season 4 dropped on Netflix. Jason Bateman. I love that show. I mean, I've only got through a couple episodes so far, but so well acted, and I mean, Jason Bateman's just good in anything anyway to me, practically. Yeah. So even not the greatest movies, he's still a great actor. So just all the twists and turns, and again, it's just one of those shows that just keeps you on edge because they're in constant danger everywhere they turn. So it's sort of have you guys seen Ozark? Have you watched any of those?
I was
everybody what tells me to.
Yeah, I just told Robin no less than an hour ago, because it was on the PlayStation on the advertising the new season. I said one of these days I'm going to watch that fucking show because everybody says how good it is, and I like both of the main the actors in it.
That and Yellowstone, people keep talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Ozark, not for kids whatsoever. It is it gets violent and all that stuff. But if you could watch the first episode, it's either going to get you hooked in, or it's like, nah, just absolutely not for me. Too much tension and danger and all that type of stuff. So go back to season 1. Don't jump into 4, nothing like that. Go back and watch the whole series so you get the whole backstory and how everything ties together. So start there, watch the first episode, and if you like that type of show, it'll probably get you hooked in.
I'm gonna watch it.
So, yeah.
All right. Was that yours, Brian?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, real quick. He made me think because he said, shouldn't be for kids. Too much violence. I want to tell you a quick story. Where we came into Carter and I, my 10-year-old son, came into the house the other day, and I have this big box that I got. I'm gonna give it to Megan because she's packing up her stuff and she's moving out of her apartment. And he's got his coat on. He's got his cell phone and not even paying attention. Turns around and the box is so big and he's so short. Dick first, right into it, falls into the box. It was a whole mess. It was awesome.
Dick first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He hit a dick into the corner of it and just fell forward to it. I mean, he was laughing, when he did it, but it was awesome. You're gonna watch where you're going next time, won't you?
I can't mean to ask. Did you ever take him to go see Scream?
No, I keep offering, but he's like,
okay,
I'm all right.
Okay, all right. Just curious. Okay, all right. Well, guys, speaking of screaming, one might.
Oh, we're gonna get the details about Saturday night now.
Oh, let's hear it.
No,
this was the teaser. He was.
Not that excited. No, it's just me, my buddy, and his fiancée. So none of that was happening.
Well,
no.
Still an opening there, maybe for a story.
Nope. Wrong couple. I'm kidding.
Looks like you should have spent your Saturday at someone else's house.
Actually, off air, he's going to ask what you and Robin are doing later.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm throwing it out there.
There you go. Sorry, Dean. So I kind of stepped over that.
Segment. I'm just,
just keeping the show together all by himself.
Here. Jesus.
So who did we lose, Dean? Who did we lose over the past week here? Over the past week,
we lost Louis Anderson, comedian, host. He did stand-up comedy for all those years. He did Baskets just recently. He also was the host of the Family Feud for quite a few years.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Life with Louie, the animated series from when I was but a boy.
That is correct.
Yes, indeed.
That's correct.
68 years of age.
Right.
Wow, was he that old?
Yes.
Right.
He didn't seem that old. He didn't look that old. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know the last time I saw Louis Anderson, but
sure.
I guess maybe it's I'm remembering him at a different
You're remembering
time.
him as a cartoon baby, so that messes
on that
floaty
in the pool drinking some juice or something. Right. Yeah.
And then we also lost, and we're breaks into with our topic, the iconic Meatloaf, singer and prolific actor.
Yes.
Had some very iconic roles.
74 years of age. I didn't realize this. He was in 65 films he appeared in.
Really? I know he was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. I remember that.
Yes, right.
Fight Club.
Okay.
He was in Fight Club. He was Bitch Tits in Fight Club.
Oh, that's right. My God.
That was his character's name.
I believe you. I know. It's just funny.
I don't want to get Brian in trouble here, but that was legitimately the character's name in the show.
Right.
So Bitch Hits.
That's right.
The character's name.
Meatloaf sold, by the way, guys. I just had it up here. We talked about it in the pocket, but he sold more than 100 million albums in his time. So definitely he was a very unique artist. He just had a whole different sound and vibe. Yep. He kind of created his own thing.
Bat Out of Hell 2 was everywhere.
Sure, absolutely. It's like I think I don't know as much of his stuff, but when a song of his comes on, I can sing a lot of it.
Word for word.
So we went out to the bar to go see the Bengals defeat the Titans. At the end of that, just people were playing Meatloaf songs on the jukebox, and people just singing along. It's just like, God dang, I kind of forgot about this or that one, and just a lot of fun. So it's a shame.
Now, do you think when he died, there was a ding from the oven timer?
I think what it was, the little thermometer popped up.
That's right.
So like he was
There's a little
like he was
ketchup on the
done.
top of him.
Well, he was done. You know what I mean? Just kind of popped out. He was done, and that was it. And
Just
very
one nipple.
peaceful. Yeah, very, very peaceful from there. And I didn't realize this either. We talked about this in the show. His
Lovely
dog,
smelling corpse.
kind of tied to hard rock and heavy metal scene. His daughter, one of his
Meatloaf.
daughters.
I hate
He's
the
not
reason I'm
grossed
making
out by
Oh,
the
the
idea
food.
of the corpse.
I
reason
see.
I'm
Meatloaf
making these
itself.
faces is like meat. I am a very adventurous eater. There's almost nothing I won't eat, but I fucking hate meatloaf.
I've
It is the
proven that
grossest
time
thing.
and time again.
It's so gross. Go on.
So-
Sorry, I'm not making faces at the. I mean, I'm whatever. It's the idea of the smell of meatloaf is gross.
But you do approve of our dead jokes.
I don't have a
Okay,
problem
good
with
to
that.
know.
Let people do their thing, but please don't talk about the meatloaf in front of me. Not a fan.
So Nick, you would do anything for love, but you won't do that. Is that
I
right?
will not do that. No.
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 Mhm.
No.
He was in fact buried with a side of green beans, but
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mhm.
So, anyways, one of his daughters is married.
Suing the show.
She'll get all $12.
Yeah.
All $12
Damn
in
it.
earnings. That's right. No, but one of his daughters is married.
It's a
to
year and a
Scott.
half's worth of work right there.
That's right. It is literally.
that's right.
Fucking meatloaf jokes. Got him.
That's right. So if I can
Defamation
finish
of
my
character.
fucking thought here.
Yeah, okay. We're all
yeah.
switching roles. Dean's keeping it together. I'm interrupting.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, Brian? All right.
I was trying to say that Meatloaf's
Mm-hmm.
one of his daughters is married to Scott Ian of Anthrax, or at least was married to him. So kind of
Oh, yeah.
the extra ties to the hard rock and heavy metal scene. So anyways, Dean, so that takes us into your idea. I kind of stepped over it earlier.
Yes,
So
the three
what
of us
are
get
we-
naked.
Yeah.
Oh, not that one. We're
Not
we're
that
doing.
one. That's
okay,
that's
let me
another.
cross that one.
That's our
Yeah,
that's our
okay.
100th episode.
Page
100th
4. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, well, I just went fucking crooked, didn't I?
You
we're
sure
going
did.
to do
I think you pulled
a
out your. Hold on.
series,
I think you popped out
guess?
your.
I mean, and trust me, guys, and if you've been here,
You
Wait.
sound
it's not gonna
weird.
be
You
like-
sound
hold
weird.
up. Time
Weirder
out,
than
time
normal.
out, time out.
It's weird.
Your headset came unplugged.
The things just went to shit, didn't they?
There we
Yeah,
go.
there you
Yep.
go.
Lord.
There you go.
That was
There you go. So this scene right there on the camera, that's what Dean's going to tell you. That's like a Dean's going to tell you camera shot right
Please
there.
remove
There
your
you go.
ball sack, stretched out
There you
ball
go.
sack from the screen. We'd appreciate it. Thank you.
It's
not a
Dean's
lot of people
palm,
can.
if you can't see the video.
Not a lot of
Yeah.
people know this, and I'm
Yeah.
quite actually unique. The police don't need my thumbprint; they use my testicles, and they put it on the ink blot thing and put it on the paper. And yeah, that's how I'm identified.
Yeah, that right there. That was Dean's ex-girlfriend for at least 5 years, right there on camera.
I can still call her up anytime I need. You can't see my hands now, actually.
Yep. And at least 6 days a week now.
And I want to say, all of those fucking parents are fucking lying, and it's bullshit because no hair, not a stitch of hair on these palms.
That's right. Yep, not on the palm nor the head these days.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so
Okay.
Dean, what do we do? So this
My
is your
idea.
idea. So
We're
we're going
gonna
to do a.
Wow, that went way off the rails.
And this time it was
Yes.
Brian too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
did.
being a
Yeah.
good boy this episode.
Mhm.
We are doing a series of episodes. And once again, if you've been listening to us from the beginning, it's not going to be like the superhero bracket fiasco of last year.
It's not a fiasco.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very popular among the people.
Okay. The
Yeah.
what it was. But this is we're going to do a series of Mount Rushmores like we've done in the past, but of music.
Battle bracket.
Not a battle bracket. No battle. There's no battling. There's no brackets. It is the Mount Rushmore.
Except for the ones we post on Instagram after
You
each
can
episode.
by all means post away.
Episode 1 is Kiss versus Doctor Strange.
Are you
Kiss meets the Doctor. Of
sure you don't
the-
want Batman on there so
Mhm.
Nick can
Yes.
just lie his way through that? Also.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, he
And
couldn't
then-
beat Kiss. I mean, let's
he
be
possibly means that
realistic.
Batman can't.
It,
Okay.
Yeah, he can't beat Kiss.
Yep.
There's a demon and a
Yep.
Star Child and a Catman and
Mhm.
a spaceman. There's no
Actually,
way. You're
I mean, that's
insane.
not
and
The
Martian
whole-
Manhunter.
And Martian
You sons of bitches.
and Martian Manhunter on the tambourines for some reason.
I tried to block that out. Anyway,
Go ahead, Dean.
This
Go
week
ahead,
we're going
Dean.
to do by genre, and once again, it won't be every week. Might be every other week or every so often. But we are going to start with the Mount Rushmore of hard rock, and maybe
In the battle bracket.
not in the battle bracket, the Mount Rushmore. Like I'd said, and
Right.
maybe in a couple weeks we'll do oldies rock or soft rock or metal or alternative grunge. You know what I mean? We'll determine that as we go. But I figured we don't do a lot of music. We do a lot of nerdy things on here, a lot of pop culture things on here, but we don't really do a lot of music. And the reason is it's one of the things that we all kind of vary and differ on is music, right, guys? We're very
I would say
similar
probably
on
the
TV
most, yeah.
and movies and comic books, but music is what we differ on. So we don't really it doesn't really add up, to each, per conversation. So I figured this way we can give our opinions on our different, favorites and our Mount Rushmore favorite bands, favorite solo artists. So here's how it's going to work. I've been talking too fucking long. This week we're doing Mount Rushmore of hard rock. We're going to start with
versus
motherfucker. I'm going to put a fist up here. So we're gonna Mount Rushmore hard rock. We're doing bands, solo acts, and songs of hard rock, and that will be this week.
Now
battle bracket.
I've sort of did hard rock together, not light
make me
rock,
drink.
like rock and roll and hard rock together is kind of what I did.
Yeah.
So
my list is I took rock and tried to just remove punk, pop, and metal. So I don't know.
Yeah.
This will be what's interesting is to see everybody's list. Like we genuinely haven't discussed our lists. We don't know what's on each other's list. So I'm curious to see also how we drew the line and separating these. But yeah, I just tried to remove like the basic because there's so many subgenres.
That's
of
the
music.
whole thing of our opinions, guys. Is like Nick said earlier, it's subjective. And so is considering when you got those bands that are teetering on hard rock or you know what I mean? That's going to be the thing is your opinion is your opinion because you can't go into a scientific fact and say Alice Cooper is this or this. Is he hard rock? Is he metal? It is at that point it's subjective. So that's why this list will be fun. And like always, everybody, we do encourage everybody to go on our social medias and give your opinions. We want to hear your Mount Rushmore of hard rock.
And cast your votes for the battle bracket. Absolutely. Let us know.
John, we're looking at you. I know you're listening. We are looking for your list here on Facebook.
Okay. All right, so guys, so why don't we then, before we get into this, it's a great time in our time to take a short break.
I was going to say shit.
And then, well, you could do that if you wish. And then we'll come back. That's right.
I just did.
And be the first. Well, it'd be the first one you gave on this podcast in quite a long time. How about that?
Yeah.
You little shit.
All right, so we'll come back and start with bands. Yes?
Bam. Yes.
Bands.
Okay.
All right.
Who will defeat
No.
That's right.
No.
In this week's music battle bracket on Convincing Idiots. You wanted it. You wouldn't leave the stage until we came back, so the encore is here. Part 2 of Convincing Idiots. Today, our main topic of discussion, we have decided to do our Mount Rushmore of bands, solo artists, and songs of the, and this is where it's going to get interesting, roughly speaking, rock, hard rock, whatever genre.
We'll be doing different genres as we go.
As we go,
weeks.
as the battle bracket proceeds, we will do different genres. But
bracket.
this week, just to start, we're just going to do rock, hard rock. So this is where we kind of, I think,
I did it because right now I'm rock hard.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Up until this morning in our group chat, I think I kind of struggled to grasp what it exactly we were, how the
I didn't know if I had to send a picture.
Yeah, so this is we mentioned before. This is very subjective as far as what bands you consider to be rock or how we perceive rock music. For my part, personally, I tried to just keep it to I rock without metal, punk, pop rock, or this guy, whatever kind of music this is. Okay, good night. I love you. Go to bed. So anyway, that's kind of what we're going with here. So all of our lists are probably going to differ greatly. So let's just start. Let's
quick. I don't know who you're going to go first with.
Yeah.
That's on you. But I actually did want to tell you guys that I was in a band. It wasn't quite rock. It was, I don't know, kind of grungy new.
Is this like saying you're on a podcast that, or like, you know, like on the, I mean,
we made songs. It was me and Aaron Blake with Blake Insurance. I tell you, Blake Insurance, let me tell you a little bit about him. Not only does he make great music, because he did do he does our music for this podcast.
Familiar with his musical talents, yes.
We made beautiful music, and that is not a euphemism, back in the day. And now Blake is doing Blake Insurance. Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359. I'll say it again if you didn't hear me the first time. 234-571-5359. Or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And when you go and make that call, tell him Convincing Idiots sent you, and ask him to play a little bit on the guitar that's behind him in his office.
Mm-hmm.
Might just do it.
Mm-hmm. He's going to call you and be like, how come I'm not selling a lot of insurance? I'm spending most of my time playing some chords for random strangers off the street to come in and say Convincing Idiots at them. What the hell is that about?
Insurance company, not TLC. What was the Total Request Live?
TLC.
Yes. No, TL.
I'm here for home, auto, and no scrubs. Go. Sing it. Let's go. All right.
He actually wears the same outfit as those girls in that video. It's his uniform at work.
Yes. Okay. Back on track here. So with bands, let's start out. We'll see how our lists rank, and as we go, we can discuss if there's how you view some of these bands or whatever. So let's start with the one who's been following music since its recorded history, Brian Fisher, Gen X. Why don't you start? You've heard the most music probably. You've listened to it the longest. So what is good with Brian? Who's on Brian's Mount Rushmore?
Sidetrack, what did you and Moses listen to?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Was it Bush or Burning Bush?
I was trying to think of something. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Quicker than me on that one.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah. So my method was sort of the same as yours, Nick. So it's more rock, not metal. And even metal gets into is a hard rock or metal. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff with that. So anyway, I kind of went with rock and hard rock here, not pop rock and soft rock. So here's what I got. So my recommendation for
didn't Mikey die from pop rocks? Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, he put it in. He mixed it with
the Coca-Cola,
Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi or Coke. Pepsi. That's right. That's right. Okay, so I looked at influence, talent, sales, the whole thing here. So in no particular order, I've got Led Zeppelin. To me, musically, the individual music talent, one of the best, if not the best, in hard rock of all time, in my opinion. I have the shirt I'm wearing this evening. AC/DC for me, just huge, just so much fun. 200 million plus record sales. And by the way, Led Zeppelin has 200 to 300 million units that they've sold worldwide.
Wow.
Back in Black is still one of the top selling albums of all time from AC/DC. It's in the top.
I mean, at some point in
10.
any kid in their 20 or any like teenage boy, AC/DC is your favorite band at some point in your life, correct?
Sure. Yeah, they do
Even
not
if it's
disappoint.
for like a week or something.
Sure.
I mean, they're just that kind of band.
Exactly. Are they the most musically talented? No. But you know what you're going to get. A lot of fun.
They sure are fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I've got Queen. So
It's good.
I like a lot of their stuff. I don't know a lot of their deep cuts, frankly. But when I step back and think about influence, talent,
that's what I base a lot of mine on. Is what they brought to music, what they contributed to musical society in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the individual talent of the musicians within Queen, rock solid, and then certainly Freddie Mercury, one of the greatest vocal talents. Also Robert Plant, for that matter, and Led Zeppelin, two of the greatest vocal talents that ever existed or ever will exist in rock and roll. So
you clearly didn't hear Aaron Blake when Aiden's Valentine was out.
Must have missed that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then definitely two of the most influential.
They sold over 2 units all time, I think.
Yes.
No, people kept calling us that we were 2 units. That's,
yes.
I get that mixed up.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Two of the most influential bands of all time. It rounds out my top 5 here. The Rolling Stones, 200 million sales. Again, individual talent, very solid. Mick Jagger, is he the best vocal artist? Not necessarily, but just the energy and enthusiasm of that band. Absolutely. And finally, the Beatles. So, again, more on the rock side, certainly, than hard rock. You have a few songs that might cross into more of a hard rock sound and so forth.
But they also had their beginning stuff was popish. That's why I didn't quite do that. Yeah,
but they did have a lot of rock sounding type songs. But again, this is why we're debating and talking about this stuff here. The 600 million record sales, the Beatles of all. I mean, obviously, everyone knows who they are, and another band that decent musicians across the board. One of the few bands in history where each artist sang individually. It had some individual hits, and all 4 had their own success once the band broke up, which is also quite rare. When usually maybe 1 or 2 people may go out and have a solo career, like the lead singer or somebody else will, but each individual member of that band, when they broke up, had his own level, decent level of success throughout the rest of their career. Well, certainly Paul McCartney continues to this day. So go ahead.
Look at Nirvana. The Novoselic, went and sold insurance. Dave Grohl had quite a few hits, and and the other guy took a shot at it.
Yep. Yep. Anyway, so that's what I got. So Beatles, Stones, Queen, AC/DC, and Zeppelin. So a lot more classic era for me, but I think the music just timeless, holds up well, and I could listen to that stuff for
Who was that
future.
Last one? The Beatles.
Yeah. Zeppelin, AC/DC, Queen, Stones, Beatles. Again, are these my top 5 all-time favorites personally? Not necessarily. I like a lot of their stuff.
Sure.
AC/DC is definitely up there. Zeppelin's up there for me, but I'm talking about just who should be on that mountain as far as, like I said earlier, talent, influence, sales, the whole thing. I think that's good stuff there. So That's
It's a
what I
good
got.
list. It's a very good list. I just have to ask, how long
Strong
have you
list.
been employed by WONE exactly?
I know. It's like,
I'm joking. And
You
it's
know
a
what?
very
And
good
that's-
list. It's a very solid list. I'm
that's
only
the
joking.
bad stuff. That's the because these bands, and that's actually a good point you bring up here. Like our local radio station here in Akron, Ohio. I'm not even kidding. It's the same fucking playlist, and it's probably every local
For 40 years, 30, 40 years, probably.
I'm not even
Yeah.
kidding. It doesn't change all that much, and that's unfortunate for some of these bands because if they you don't unless you dig deeper into their catalog and enjoy all these bands here have so much good stuff beyond the
Oh, yeah.
radio played stuff
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
radio played to death. Like there's AC/DC songs right now that I don't ever want to hear You Shook Me All Night Long ever again. I don't need to hear it anymore, for example, right?
Right.
But AC/DC has so many other good, solid, fun songs that don't get the radio play. And all those bands can say the same thing. That
Yeah.
you don't hear on the radio a whole bunch. That's rock
And it's now
solid talent and enjoyment and everything else. Go ahead.
and it's not even like before. It's that's the records we have. That's the records they sent us. It's not digital. God
Yeah.
damn it! You could
Right.
play Foghat, WONE.
That's right.
Foghat.
They just don't have the
You
rights
can make a
to it,
playlist.
but
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah, and
all radio play. So get off the terrestrial radio playlist, everybody. If you don't have streaming, get your ass together.
Yeah.
And go back and listen to some of the deeper catalog stuff of all these bands.
I will say that when I was in high school, as you know, before we had access to streaming everything. We had like iPod, we had the iPods and stuff like that. But when I would get into a band or I would pick out a few songs that I really liked, I would go first buy like an anthology that was out or a greatest hits, and then if I really liked the band a lot, I would go back and basically go to the exchange and one by one through their catalog, buy every album from start to finish. I did it with so many bands over the years, Aerosmith and the Ramones, and just different things that had a large collection, and just went through and find, because it was a lot of fun for me at that time, and I kind of missed that a little
You
bit.
are the
I don't wanna go off-
ultimate consumer.
I don't want to go off on a whole tangent, but I kind of missed that a little bit because it's so easy now to just listen to songs or pick out certain ones or, but it was fun to go through and really experience every album, even though it was years and years later. But yeah, like you said about all these bands, AC/DC and stuff and Led Zeppelin, you've heard all the same songs by them over and over, beat to death on the radio. And it's not really indicative of the music catalog in general. So
Right.
yeah, definitely very true. So
very good. Let's keep that in mind, by the way, just to quick
sure.
Deeper cut songs, Dean. Maybe that's something we could work into one of these episodes as far as
that'd be good.
songs of bands, these hard rock bands or otherwise, whatever, that's non-radio airplay to death. Maybe we talk about some of that at some point. But anyway, that's my list, Nick.
All right. Traveling through time into Zennial Land, who does Dean have on his Mount Rushmore? For the battle bracket submission.
Mine's gonna go quick because Brian has gone through a lot of mine.
Okay.
I have Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Again, like he said, the influence that they've had on every band you hear today, has a piece of Led Zeppelin in them. I also have AC/DC. Again, like I'd said, at some point in every teenage boy's life, AC/DC is their favorite band for whatever small, long period of time. Queen also, very prolific. What they did to the genre, they brought something different, something that changed music, I think. And now we get to the bands that Brian didn't have to fill up my number 2 4 and 5 spot. You guys said offline the Black Sabbath was a metal band, but I think Black Sabbath, yes, a metal band for then, but I still consider them hard rock. Again,
Incorrect.
What they go ahead. No, by all means.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Well,
I mean, this is what the conversation's for.
So for me, Black Sabbath is the very origin of metal.
Yes,
Black Sabbath is
they
are the Prometheus of metal.
Okay.
Black Sabbath is number one. I mean, I wouldn't say they're but I mean, when I think of metal through the years, or at least, again, subjective, the way I perceive metal Black Sabbath is page one. They started it, and then it kind of evolved into its own thing from there. That's just me personally, but yes,
Okay.
that's I definitely perceive Black Sabbath to be metal.
Okay.
I mean,
Brian?
they definitely. I'm with Nick on this one, but you are correct, and there are definitely. I'm glad they're on a Mount Rushmore for you, though, Dean. So you definitely, it's good that you appreciate that band and the
absolutely.
influence. Okay, so that's that. There you go. So that's good in itself. There are definitely some songs I agree with you that are
just
more
good
hard
rock
rocky
songs. Yeah.
type songs, like Paranoid, and there's a
Yeah.
few other ones that are. It's more of a hard rock type song, but if you go back again, you listen to some of their songs that you don't hear as often, it's definitely the dark and gloomy and doom, and they definitely did set the tone
Okay.
for heavy metal today. We'll
Kinda
talk more about that in our
sludgy
metal
and-
episode.
Yeah, right.
They're
Sure.
definitely going to be on Nick and I's Mount Rushmore for
Okay.
certain. So we'll talk more about them on our metal show. But yeah, good.
Yep.
Still, overall, good band to select one way or the other.
For sure.
And now, my number 5. Speaking of being the grandfathers of whatever genre, this band is in the Guinness World Records for being the audible loudest band.
Oh boy,
Ever.
Motorhead.
No, it is
No.
The Who.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay.
Decibel wise, it is the Who was, and once again, that probably changed by now with whatever,
At least
all
at the
these-
time they were.
right.
The very
At least
least.
it's
Okay.
and for many, 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 many years were the loudest band according to the Guinness World Records. The Who.
Okay. So
Nice.
okay. All right. There's so many times where I feel like everything points to I should like the Who. I should enjoy the Who.
Mhm.
Roger Daltrey has a great
Mhm.
voice. Pete
Yep.
Townsend is terrific on guitar. They definitely had a whole different sound. I just can't overly get into them. That's just me. There's a couple songs I like personally.
Sure.
I don't know. That's just me. It's just a band that I keep listening. I'm like, I should enjoy this more than I do. I just doesn't quite connect to me as much. Maybe I need to listen to more of their catalog stuff. Again, definitely agree. Talent, influence, the whole bit, all that fits the bill.
They fit
just
the
for me
criteria.
personally, it never connected as much
Gotcha.
for me personally. That's all.
Okay, I get that.
Good selections though.
Nice. Good shit.
Nikolai.
All right, and traveling into millennial world, here's where I don't have a single band that any of you named. We don't double
all of these are
Nothing.
boy bands. I just want to let you know.
Nothing. So I didn't
have
really.
Trivium.
Trivium is a great Trivium. I don't know that they'd
Okay.
make my metal Mount Rushmore, but certainly they're a great metal band. Anyway, no, my my Mount Rushmore is not necessarily. I guess it's what I perceive to be rock music now. And I will say, and this is not slant on any of the band. All the bands that you named are legendary. They're classics, but they're bands that were already old when I was young. So
If he says Nickelback, I'm quitting the show.
It's classic rock, and some of my bands are older too. And actually, I thought we might double up on a couple, but not a single one. So
Wow.
here we go. So I didn't think.
Hold on, I
Yes.
just have to hold on. I just have to get ready for this.
Okay.
None of these bands made your list.
So this is new.
No.
This is all new, people.
No, no, it's not new. It's not new bands. These bands are old for sure. But I didn't go off of like the most commercially successful, the most whatever. Just my favorite of what I consider to be rock that doesn't really fit in any subcategory. It's more of a classic rock band. To me.
Okay.
I'm gonna start off here and with this explanation. I don't expect we're going to do a grunge show. So I'm including Seattle bands because
I didn't, because I was intending to do a grunge.
Everybody's Mount Rushmore is going to be the same 4 bands, and one of them is going to be different. There's only really.
See, okay.
You're going to have Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Allison Chains, and then there's
Right.
going to be, if you like Bush or you like the Melvins or you like Mudhoney or you like, it's Screaming Tree.
Right.
You're going to insert your own. But so anyway, I'm just going to start here. Allison Chains, definitely a grunge band. Okay. By today's standards, they would be considered they get play on classic rock stations and things like that. I mean, after all, this band is 30 plus years old. So Allison Chains stuck out to me because they're, from a lyrical standpoint, they definitely spoke to me. Really enjoyed their music. They had a more of a deeper, almost bordering on a harder rock or metal version of grunge, I guess. I think Allison Chains was one of the a little bit heavier ones more often than not. They had a big impact on me. My firstborn child is named Lane after Lane Staley. So Allison Chains definitely had to make my Mount Rushmore. They've been a very important band to me. At number 4, I don't know. Maybe Brian has heard of this band. I'm not sure. The Tragically Hip. They are a just outright rock and roll band. They're from Toronto. They started in 1987. Their last album was in 2016. After their lead singer passed away, I believe in 2018, Gord Downey, rest him. But just a great band. If you haven't heard of or gone and listened to any of the Tragically Hip, I strongly suggest you do so. I don't really know how to explain them other than, a band of that era, late 80s, all through the 90s, just outright great rock band, extensive catalog.
Also something the three of us will never be accused of.
Being tragically hip, that is true.
Correct.
That is true. So the Hip definitely make mine. Number 3, I was surprised. I didn't know how you guys were going to rank your lists, but I was surprised. Kiss did not show up on Brian's list. I was
surprised too.
I had to go with Kiss off a few things. Number 1, they are my legacy pick. Okay, Kiss was what I was raised with. In my house, I never heard of the Beatles, but Kiss was the epitome of rock music. They were the biggest, best, most awesome band ever. That's just the house I was raised in. So Kiss is my legacy pick. That's what I grew up with. I enjoyed their catalog over the years. They started off as a very 70s rock band. They changed with the times. I mean, personally, a lot of their 80s stuff is some of my favorite. It's probably just nostalgia because, that's the kind of music they were making when I was a child and I heard a lot. And then, they just, through the years, we did a whole episode on Kiss, Brian and I talking about them and the ways we appreciate them and things like that. And certainly the criticisms of Kiss, I think, is very due. But
if you want to hear an episode of ours where you hear me say like 3 words, go back to the Kiss episode. These two actually do a fantastic job talking about Kiss, but I don't know a lot about them. So if you ever want to hear an episode where you only hear me say 3 words, that's the episode to go.
That's the one. There you go. Yeah.
You know what? That was way back in episode number 2, I believe, 2 or 3.
2. It was one of the very earliest ones. Yep.
Yeah. And Nick, I'm with as far if I'm talking about personal favorite bands and bands that entertain me of all time, Kiss is definitely on that list for sure. No question about it.
Yep.
The old Kiss, the original 4 in the 70s, the first few albums, just terrific stuff. I could sit down and listen to that. And I like a lot of the 80s stuff as well, even though some people that are true, they're Kiss fans may not like that stuff. I don't know, but I like a lot of that stuff as well. So for me, it's just from an overall, it's certainly they're influential, theatrical, all that stuff. It's just, entire catalog, talent, musically, stuff like that. In many respects, for me, they've been half a tribute band. My buddy Cunningham and I are huge fans as well, that we sort of agree on the same sentiment. It's 2 guys dressing up like Peter Criss and Ace Frehley for many, many, many years, playing their stuff almost note for note. So
that's not real fair. 3 of us have been pretending to be podcasters for a year and a half.
That's true. But anyway, I definitely personal enjoyment and entertainment. Yeah. So what else you got, Nick? Sorry about that.
No, you're good. That's what we're doing this for, a little bit of the discussion. I'm glad you brought up musical talent because next up I have what I believe to be the greatest set of musicians altogether. They're like a super group that never was. It's just these
Simon and Garfunkel. Here we go.
I have Rush. Rush is definitely a classic rock band, but there is no other band that I can think of that have more, in my personal opinion, a greater collection of musicians all in one band.
Yeah, I'll give you
than the 3 of them. So for the 3 of them, and I mean, I don't know if I've ever talked about it here or not, but the first time I witnessed, I unfortunately never saw Rush live, but the first time I watched one of their live shows, it was on like VH1 Classic at the time or something. Every band maybe credits 3 or 4 musicians, but when they tour, there's backing instruments, people playing, doing different things. Not Rush, man. Rush is those three guys doing fucking everything, and it blew me away that there was no backup music. Geddy Lee's playing a keyboard and the bass and singing, and Neil Peart's doing his. I mean, Alex is incredible on the guitar. They're just each one of them.
I mean, they could have used
separately
a help with the vocals.
See, I like it. He's got a
I don't like
polarizing
his voice.
voice,
I've
but I
always
don't
hated
think
that
he's
guy's
a
voice.
great vocalist. It's just you either like the sound of his voice or you don't.
I did not.
I was listening to one of their albums today from '93, and I was like, "Yeah, this is incredible!" Like, then they're another one through the years, just good, solid. I mean, incredible musicians. Each one of them could be brought up in the conversation for a debate of are they the greatest person to ever play their specific instrument. So, Rush is, in my opinion, the most musically talented band I've ever heard. Even though I wouldn't even say they're one of my top 10 favorite bands of all time, but I have to put them in this category because I just think
they were
incredible.
influential. If you ask any drummer, just like who was a? Let me see where we're going. Well, you ask any drummer, and they're going to tell you that he's going to be their.
Neil Peart was an influence for
right.
sure. Yeah. I mean, definitely just he's incredible to watch. I mean, it's incredible drummer, widely considered to be one of their, if not the one of the best drummers of all time. So, but yeah, Rush. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that it's funny. Rush is one of them bands, and I have one of my oldest friends also, Tim Lester. If you're listening out there, Tim.
Your oldest friend? Jesus, how old is this guy?
One of my oldest friends.
Oh, yeah. You mean you've been friends for a long time? Not
yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's correct. But he is one who is a super Rush fan as well. And as a kid, I met him. We were in junior high, and it's like every Rush fan it's very funny. It's like a whole thing with Rush fans. Like they want so. They are trying, and they are the perpetual convincing idiots, if you will. They want to. Yeah. You need to understand that Rush is good, and I'm like,
it is incredible.
No,
incredible.
But they suck.
Wrong. No. You don't understand. Listen.
You have to understand. That's right. You have to understand why.
Right.
And actually, he named one of his sons, Nick Sawyer, after Tom Sawyer. This Tom Sawyer song in Rush. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
So. He's been that way.
I don't know if I'd admit that, but no, huge Mark Twain fan. Sorry,
that's right. And we talked about this movie on another episode, by the way, too. So that movie, I Love You, Man.
Yeah,
with Paul Rudd and the same premise. The guy's so just constantly trying to convince Paul Rudd why Rush is such a great band and so forth. So, anyway,
well, the two of them, I believe they one of the things they really authentically bonded over was that was their favorite band. Like they loved Rush.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
I believe it was.
Right.
I read an article about whoever was the director of that movie, or they had written Rush into the script that this was the band and that they're going to go to a Rush concert. And one of the guys was like, "Well, that's great, but like, what if you don't get Rush? Who's it going to be?" And they're like, "Oh no, it has to be. It's just Rush." Like the guy was such a fan, he's like,
they weren't fucking doing anything.
There is no second option. It has to be Rush. So, but I mean, at this time they were still touring and stuff, and they were on an episode of Trailer Park Boys, which is one of my favorites of all time. That was another good one. But yeah, they've made appearances in film over the year. But yeah, just love them. Think they're incredibly talented, and they're one of those bands that the more I listen to them over the years, I've always appreciated them. But as I go through and listen to their catalog and listen to them more, I'm like, God damn it, they're just so fucking good. I love them more and more all the time. So definitely Rush is up there. And then for me,
so real quick, since this is Convincing Idiots and I am an idiot, give me one song of Rush. I know we were talking about doing the back deep tracks and everything, but give me a song of Rush I should listen to that might at least put me not hating them. I might not like them.
Ooh. Okay, so I listened today. There's an album that came out that they put out in '93 called Counterparts. The very first song is called Animate. And I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'd ever heard it before today, but I really like that song. One of my favorites of Rush ever has always been Subdivisions.
Yes, there you go.
It's just
Great
a
song.
really cool sounding song.
Yes,
that's another thing. They always experimented a lot, did different stuff, and definitely.
I listened to those two
progressive.
songs.
They're a progressive rock band, so I mean they do a lot of different time changes and interesting, intelligent things with the music.
Better, right?
Well, yes, that's what they've propelled music forward, Dean. That's what they have done. So,
Held
And
that
then for
awful
me-
voice in the society.
My favorite band of all time, I have to put Pearl Jam on my Mount Rushmore because although they started as a grunge band, they really don't represent that as much to me as much as they've got 11 studio albums now, and the way that their sound has changed over the years, the different types of music they make. They're a band. I don't know if either one of you guys have a band. Do you have a band that feels like they're tailor made for you? Like all their songs and everything they do and everything they stand for and the way they sound and the chords
Yes.
and everything sounds like it. That's like, this is your band. Like they were made for you, for your ears. And that's what Pearl Jam's always been for me. They are my favorite band of all time. I love them to death. And yeah, Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
Mine
One
was
Direction
Crystal.
for me. That's weird.
Well,
What's that?
that's good.
One Direction for me.
Oh, fuck yeah, buddy. That's a good one.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Mine wasn't a band. Mine was Crystal Gale. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Long
I don't
flowing
know.
hair, the whole thing.
Mhm.
Country singer.
Oh,
in the
okay.
70s. Yeah.
5 people's gonna get that joke listening to this shit.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
You think 5 people listen to this podcast? That is, wow. We are growing.
We
So
are growing actually.
From
but
3 guys in Germany to
Yeah.
5 guys in Germany.
That's right. That's
which
right.
is the title of my autobiography.
That's right. Well, Nick's list is a definite millennial Mount Rushmore,
Yes.
almost exclusively. So pretty
Yeah.
good stuff here. No, I think all the selections are very solid. So
Yeah.
good job, guys. Okay. What is
We have
next, sir?
a solo. We are going to go solo artist of hard rock.
Speaking of going solo, everybody
Yes.
has, I think, and when people are, Dean might know this as being formerly of a band.
Of solo.
You probably think about going solo every now and again. Eventually everybody wants to branch out on their own, feel
Yes.
what a little bit of freedom and solo time is like. Why not go solo on your very own electric bike from our friends at RPM Bike Shop? RPM Bike Shop is located in Carrollton, Ohio. They offer you electric bikes. You can go to their Facebook page and contact them that way, or you can give them a call at 330-808-7792. You can go solo today on your very own electric bike from RPM Bike Shop.
Right.
So
Awesome.
any other musical
And
talents that are looking to
not
go
just
solo?
because I think that we should embrace our sponsors, but I really am thinking about looking into that.
The bike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bike that you don't have to pedal?
electric bike, right?
They're very cool.
Right.
Well,
I've seen them firsthand, and they are actually quite nice. Yeah.
my new job is relatively close to home, so it would be cool in the summer to ride down there on an electric bike. So I might go talk to them.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell them you know me for real. So
Will do.
For
Yep.
real.
Yep.
No, I know Brian Fisher for real.
For
Like,
real,
I
for
know.
What's they're Cooper's sister and brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe we all
Okay.
take a trip down there together.
Sure.
That'd be nice.
Be a nice afternoon in Carrollton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dean, what do you got solo artists or when we
Well, I spent a lot of solo artist.
we saw one earlier on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dean's palm as going back to Joe.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
Okay.
when you were looking down. I was making the joke of this being the solo. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, same difference.
Same difference. All right, my solo artists. I'm going to start with Ozzy Osbourne
Mm-hmm.
again, and I think that even what you guys saying with the Black Sabbath being metal, Ozzy Osbourne was a little tamer, so to speak, than Black Sabbath. So I think he would put in that category. And again,
his earlier stuff's a little darker, but certainly
Sure.
he did get more glamish in the 80s for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
and as a human being, he's just continued to be part of pop culture,
Oh yeah.
which in turn turns you on to going to listening to him. And when you listen to him, you want to listen to Black Sabbath. And it may have opened, him doing these silly reality shows may have opened more people to rock than what normally wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I have excuse me. I have Jimi Hendrix is my number 2.
Okay.
Once again, this is not necessarily an actual order, but Jimi Hendrix.
Just to throw this out, we didn't really go, but we also decided that even though, so every solo artist needs a backing band, even though
Yes.
some
Right.
of these are more bands with if they acknowledge a main character, we're including them in solo bands. So
Sure.
Jimi Hendrix would be Jimi Hendrix. We're going to count
Jimi
him.
Hendrix.
He's mainly
Right.
it is based around Jimi Hendrix. So
Right.
Continue.
And then again, what he brought to just pop culture, and when you hear the Star Spangled Banner being played on his guitar, instantly it's him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then what you just said, I was going back and forth with my number 3. It was between two people. I'm going to go with my original. I'm going with Alice Cooper as my number 3. Alice Cooper, again, the stage show, the pageantry, everything he brought to music. My number 4 is Frank Zappa.
Mm.
I think
Great musician.
what he did for music, and again, the influence that man has over other musicians, that is anybody who's come after him, or hell, anybody that listened to him while they were making music.
Mhm.
Frank Zappa was, a savant of music. And then my number 5, real quick, and this is, I know it's my only modern person on my lists, but they're one of my favorites. I hope this man gets in the Hall of Fame because of what he's done and is continually
go.
doing. Continually doing. It's not who you think. It's not who you think.
Weird Al.
It's not Weird Al.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Weird Al.
No.
Okay.
That's another topic that we need to get into. But my
Best parody
number 5
artists podcast.
Well, you'd be on there for a podcaster.
I don't show up consistently enough to be claim to be a podcaster, sir.
Yes. Good point.
My number 5 is Jack White.
Mm. Okay.
From the multiple bands that he's been in to the multiple genres he's working into, musically, lyrically.
Super talented.
He's my only modern person on any of my lists tonight. But Jack White is my number 5.
Solid.
All right. Very good.
Who's next? You can go rock, paper, scissors, or just pull out your dicks, boys. Tell me who's next.
Well, it's been a while since we've heard from Brian. Brian, you go.
Okay. So, Dean, again, we have some overlap here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of went back and forth. I almost had, she's on my list and off my list, whatever. But just honorable mention for me, and we could go on over that. But Pat Benatar was very close for me putting on the list.
She was a list before I revamped mine. Yeah.
Yeah, just super influential, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It goes my light turning off here. I guess I'm off the air all of a sudden here. But my light
Took too long getting to the list. Did you got it? Nope.
Yeah, I guess.
Plug.
Actually, it's Pat Benatar is actually a witch that you didn't know about, and when you took her off the list,
maybe.
Turn off your light.
Maybe, but she's right up there. But anyway, as far as again influence, sales,
sure,
talent, all that stuff. So I also have Ozzy. Yeah, I was going back and forth with him, but especially you go back and listen to his earlier stuff. Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. Those two albums are
War Pigs. War Pigs is my go-to when I'm drunk doing karaoke.
Yeah, that's Black Sabbath though, but it's still that's a good Ozzy.
Still, I have
song.
Black Sabbath on my list too, so
that's true.
But we've already discussed, Dean, that it's metal and it doesn't belong there. So shut up.
Eat my ass.
Like you said, Ozzy definitely influential. He definitely was a guy that helped carry metal. One of the guys that helped put it on his back through the '80s and helped keep that relevant, I guess. I don't know, but I just love it. Like I said, those first couple albums especially so good in his early solo career. I also have Alice Cooper. He kind of transcended from hard rock to he did some metal stuff in the 80s and 90s. I've seen him a few times, even including last summer. Even at 70 years of age, the man still is rocking out hard, sounded great. Again, definitely one of the earlier influencers of, like you mentioned already, the theatrics. So he
Right.
had, and he's still doing the same shit today. It's the same type of stuff today. He's got like Frankenstein's monster walking around on stage. He
Did you
puts,
still cut off his head?
yes,
That's cool.
he gets himself into a guillotine. He has a nurse come out, a sexy nurse comes out and chops his own head off, and all this stuff. So just great music, a lot of fun. Alice Cooper is terrific. And then certainly more classic guys. I also have Jimi Hendrix. Just the influence, the sheer talent. He's a guy that, I don't know. At least for me too, and probably many others. I don't think he's not. It's not a black guy that plays guitar. It's just Jimi Hendrix. It's a guy.
Sure.
It's a super talented guy playing guitar. Took him out. Gone way too soon. It'd be interesting to see what else he could have done, but he definitely is up there. I'm sure in any kid to pick up the guitar, I'm sure a lot of kids can cite Jimi Hendrix as an influence, and just a great sounding voice and everything. So, and I have Little Richard on my list here.
Really?
How about
I
that?
like
So,
that.
yeah. So again, more of the rock sound, certainly.
Sure.
But Little Richard certainly one in his time that as a black man came on and said, "I'm going to sing rock and roll and do
Like
it
the
my
Beatles
own way."
were influenced by Little Richard.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
Many artists were influenced by Little Richard. Great sounding voice, super talented. One of the earlier guys, certainly, that played the piano at a whole different level, and that rock sound and everything. Without guys like Little Richard, we don't have a lot of these artists.
No.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of these bands that we just talked about on our list. So how about that? So Little Richard, and number one for me, the highest selling solo artist of all time, 500 million records worldwide.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yep. How about
I
that?
knew it.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? Elvis Presley. So
Okay.
he's not called the king of rock and roll for no reason. And Elvis would tell you, I'm sure, if he was here right now, definitely influenced by guys like Little Richard too. But Elvis Presley certainly had a whole new sound and vibe and everything. What's that?
See, that annoys me only for the fact that, like, when we first, our original idea when we talked about this, we really didn't break it down into genres. I have lists of, like, I have a list of my favorite rock, or actually, I didn't even do rock. I did music, Mount Rushmores of bands and solo artists, because I didn't know, obviously we hadn't whittled it down, but yeah, because he's on the list. I don't know if I mean, he's definitely not hard rock.
No, he's rock and roll.
Well, back then there was no it was just rock. There was nothing else. There was no hard rock, soft rock, metal,
the genre of
pop.
But I mean, now he's in not only the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but he's in the Country Hall of Fame. Hell, I think he honestly might be in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame.
It might be.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
I mean, he played rockabilly, and again, he is. I mean, the moniker King isn't for nothing. He is the most influential and greatest rock and roll star of all time.
Absolutely, that's right. Yeah, again, another guy from his whole look, his stage presence.
Yep,
the whole thing.
His acting?
Absolutely, sure.
He was in Home Alone, so
how many? Yeah, sure, that's right. Yeah, came back for that final role in the airport there in Milwaukee.
That's right.
No, but just again, another one of these artists where how many young guys, watched Elvis Presley on TV and otherwise, and just mimicked him and wanted to be the next Elvis and made it on their own right and just kind of, whatever. So just super, super influential.
As the story goes, I would stand in my crib or the play baby cage they had me in,
Mhm.
and I would hold on, and I would swivel my hips when Elvis would come on.
Yeah.
So even as a youth, I was mimicking Elvis.
So
Yeah.
when did you lose rhythm then? When did that go away?
No, I just changed from mimicking him from rhythm to the drinking and pills part.
Okay, gotcha.
I just grew up with him.
I see.
There you go.
It's a nice story. It's touching.
Yep. All right, that's what I got. That's my solo rock / hard rock solo artist on my Mount Rushmore. Nick,
Yeah.
who do you have besides the guy
we're
from
letting him
Pearl
go?
Jam?
Well, once again,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
missed the mark. I don't have a single same. No, I'm just kidding. This is quite the opposite. I don't really have much to add. So my list goes Elvis Presley,
Mm-hmm.
Alice Cooper's on there. I have Jimi Hendrix. The only two original ideas I can bring to the table are Tom Petty, as Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yes.
Good solid rock music over the years. Just a lot of great songs.
Yeah.
I would liken them to my Tragically Hip pick. It's just through the year, just solid rock music. And also I have Peter Gabriel. Love Peter Gabriel.
All right.
I mean, you're wrong, but that's still a fun pick.
Initially started with as the lead singer of Genesis, who also, I mean, Genesis, you could make the argument there. In bands as well, definitely a great progressive rock band, an early progressive rock band. But Peter Gabriel really brought. I really have a lot of admiration for people that people often refer to musicians as artists, and they are. It is an art form, but some of them give you the full experience. It's the visual, like you were talking about with Alice Cooper, the theatrics, things like that. But the music videos, the visual, along
kind of like
with
how
the
you
music,
do massages.
That's
you
right.
Go
yes,
all
it
the
is.
way.
It is artistry. Yes.
Yeah.
But Peter Gabriel definitely is one of my favorite solo artists. So that's Tom Petty and Peter Gabriel, the only new ones I have to add.
Very good.
I mean, he's not hard rock, but you guys really didn't stick to that criteria.
When you say hard rock, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?
I mean Alice Cooper. I mean Jimi Hendrix, Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
And once again,
Ozzy's metal, so
and again, this is subjective. I'm not really necessarily saying you guys are wrong. It's just you guys have a different version of what hard rock is.
Right. I guess.
But
all
I'm saying is I'm surprised that nobody had. Well, you guys had Elvis, so I guess it wouldn't. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The next round. Again, I like this that we don't have that we have different genres kind of intertwining. So
rock is tricky, and more so than any other, because like I said, you have and it's not even just the main, the metal, the punk, the pop. There's different. You could split hairs on what kind of alternative, even metal. Is there thrash? Is it like metalcore? Right. Is it hardcore? Is it like what do you power metal, glam metal? There's just a million different types in just one. So
I'm going to give you guys a solid. And in my initial thought on this is one of the weeks is going to be 80s metal or 80s rock. Which, well, in your opinion, should we do 80s rock, or can we break that up to 80s hair band, or you know what I mean, or can we just do 80s rock in general?
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, I got
Peter Gabriel and Twisted Sister.
There's a few bands in there that I kind of lumped in together as an honorable mention. I had like U2, Genesis, and The Police that I'm like, really good bands.
Yeah, sure.
They're just a tier below, but like, I mean, but all 80s bands, maybe not. Genesis probably started technically, if I had to guess, I'd probably say they probably started in the 70s, but
I believe so. Yeah.
Just still, definitely very popular in the 80s, but yeah, that's true. I mean, you could
have fun with this. I think this would be a good
branch off so many ways. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got about 10 minutes or so.
Well, I mean,
why don't we go through?
We've done solo, right?
So we just have songs. We could do our song lists.
Yep.
Can we do it?
I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go real quick because I did not. Songs are too impossible for me to sit down and so what I did, I compiled a list of the first 5 songs that came to my head that I considered to be rock songs that every time they come on unexpectedly, I go, fuck yeah. So this is my Mount Rushmore of that. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Yep. Shoot. Whatever. So Love Gun by Kiss. Love it. Great rock song. Awesome. It's fast. It's great. Subdivisions.
Best Kiss songs of all time.
Subdivisions by Rush, which I mentioned earlier. Always one of my favorite.
I'm going to listen.
Machine Head by Bush. I don't know that it's one of the best written songs, but it's a great song.
It
I
is
love
a
it.
fun
It's a rock
song.
song. It's
Fuck
a fun
yeah.
song. It's
I
great.
agree with you.
Reminds me of going to the Lumberjacks games back in the day. Sister Havana by Urge Overkill. You guys might recognize it from Pulp Fiction, but I love that song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great band.
okay.
Just a great song. It's just
Yeah.
a great riff. It's a great, great melody, everything. And then,
Really fast.
well, I'm just trying. You said you got 20 minutes. And we got 3 people to go through, and I'm just trying to stick to the plan. So
We got 20 minutes or 10?
oh, he said 10.
10 minutes.
So we got 10 minutes.
Okay,
So there you
then
go.
talk fast.
Finally, I have, and this is one that pops up on the classic rock station, and it's one of the few songs. Every time I hear Zeppelin or AC/DC or any of these bands, I go, God damn it!
Mhm.
But not this one. Doesn't matter how many times I hear it. "Boys of Summer" by Don Henley. Love that song. It's just sonically a pleasing song to me. I love "Boys of Summer." I don't care if it's Don Henley or the Ataris. It's a fucking great song. So there you go.
Sure.
There you go. That's my Mount Rushmore of fuck yeah when it comes on the radio or elsewhere songs.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
And actually, as long as it took me to go through that list is about how long it took me to write it down and think of it. It was just like 5 songs. Bam. There you go.
Look
Yeah.
at you.
Good songs.
Coke is a hell of a
Dean?
drug. All right.
Dean, what do you got?
Woo!
I have got okay, I've got songs that when they come on the radio, the crowd, no matter where you're at, just gets it. Either they're singing along or they're into it.
Okay.
How often do you listen to the radio with a crowd of people?
Radio, jukebox, whatever.
Jukebox. Jesus Christ. What generation are you in?
I'm a Zennial, you
Okay, go on.
child.
You got 10
All right.
minutes. Actually, like 4 now. Go.
I know. Well, we'd have had more with the diatribe here, but okay. Freebird, Leonard Skinner. Come on.
Fuck you.
Come on.
I hate Leonard Skinner and I hate that fucking song.
I have Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss.
Oh, really?
See, look, because that's one of those songs that fucking it will get the crowd going. I don't care what
Oh, that's true.
kind of people you're around, that will get them going.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
If you're drunk and you don't sing along like really like it's you wrote it.
Mhm.
All right. And then You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. Again, crowd pleaser. And that was also another fun one of my favorite ones to sing in karaoke, as well as what I had mentioned before, my number 5, War Pigs by Black Sabbath.
Nice.
That is my Mount Rushmore of hard rock songs.
Very good.
Brian?
Well, I looked. So we have a couple. Well, we have one overlap here. Again, I looked at songs that were, again, maybe not necessarily my favorite. Definitely 5 of my favorite songs.
And again, I didn't go my favorite. I just went of like that crowd.
Sure. But I'm looking at
my 5 would have been Weird Al across the board, but you know.
Sure, Eat It, the number 5.
How dare you? Oh, you're talking about the song. Sorry.
That's right. No.
Do I look like I listen to Weird Al Yankovic, motherfucker?
No, I also I look.
Hey, you got a story. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at influential songs like, again, popularity, I guess, but also just the influence on rock in general, powerful talent, all that stuff here. So yeah, that's what I got here. I put Elvis up here. You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. So for me, that is one of the earliest harder rock songs. Elvis his vocals on this are terrific. That rough sound, the melodies of the singers in the background, the whole thing. That is every time I hear that song, I'm just like, my foot is fucking tapping, man. I love that song. Definitely an influence in the world of rock.
That's Jailhouse
no doubt. Yeah.
Right,
you're right. Yeah, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
got AC/DC Back in Black. Again, the song itself, heard it plenty of times on the radio, But as
It's a
far
solid
as
fucking song.
that song is that is the pinnacle song of the Back in Black album, of course, which is one of the top selling albums of all time, as I mentioned before.
Still my mom's
And-
ringtone to this day.
Yeah, just if you know like 3 AC/DC songs ever, you probably know Back in Black is one of the 3 that you would probably name as far as popularity and everything else. So very powerful song. I got I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones.
That's a good song. That is a good song.
Again, and again, Stones, it's super popular, one of their best songs of all time.
Mhm.
I also have Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Again, a lot of
It's an
airplay.
anthem.
It is
It's the Wayne's World song. Come on.
Right.
Well, that too. It definitely made its way into pop culture with
Right.
Wayne's World, etc. That was a resurgence for Queen, actually, literally.
I know we're quick on time, but have you guys
Yep.
seen the video that the guy made? Well, not guy, but whoever this people made, where they did the scene for scene. They played Bohemian Rhapsody and they made scene for scene of what they're talking about.
No.
It's a guy. Look up Bohemian Rhapsody played out or acted out or something like that, and you know how long the song is. But it plays a guy that's running from. He goes in to see his mama. Mama, I just killed a man, and then the cops come and they're trying to take him away. It's really cool. So yeah,
Okay.
Google that. It's on YouTube.
Okay. Very good.
Where you can find Convincing Idiots if you would like.
That's right. Absolutely. And you may not hear this portion because we're going to edit that out. But no, I'm
It's
kidding.
a good
I'm joking.
fucking video.
I'm kidding. No, but Freddie Mercury, and that was a whole different idea of a song at the time. He had to kind of fight to get it out there on the album, and turned out obviously to be a huge hit. But just a whole different sound and vibe. And again, the Freddie Mercury's vocals on that song just incredible. And heard this song 2 million times in our lifetime, I'm sure. But as far as iconic rock songs of all time, Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Yeah. Robert Plant's again, just the music and the vocal talent of that song,
and just the way it kind of brings you up and down, kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody. It has its up and down. It'll take you down and then bring you right back up. Yeah,
absolutely. Just as far as a powerful, moving song and influence.
Yeah,
there you go. That's what I got. Stairway to Heaven, Bohemian Rhapsody, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, Back in Black, and You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. There you have it.
Nice. Good list. Boys, I believe we have done hard rock to its fullest. The Mount Rushmore is carved.
So who will hard rock face in the battle bracket is the only question that remains.
Go to hell, Nick. Go to hell.
Yep. Next week, Elvis Presley versus Catwoman.
Actually, I would not be opposed to a battle bracket with like actual people and explain why you think like Hillary Clinton would be able to kill Lincoln or whatever.
So I think Elvis seduces Catwoman.
Ooh, see?
That's what I think.
Porn bracket with celebrities.
Sure. Yep. Well, like you said earlier,
he took it one step too far, didn't he? Motherfucker.
Don't know how he got there, but he did it. He certainly did.
I was having fun earlier, Nick, when Dean was playing the role of he's trying to keep it together. Earlier, that was a lot of fun.
And Brian got to be the bad boy.
That was 2 glasses ago.
Yep, that's right. Yep. No, but like you said earlier, dude, we're interested in what you guys have to hear out there. So send us an email, convincingidiots@gmail.com. Comment on our Facebook page. Comment somewhere on social media, wherever you follow us. Comment. Give us any of your lists. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? And you share your personal list. We'd be happy to share them out there on the worldwide global podcast. Convincing Idiots, absolutely. So
that's right.
Yeah. All right. We are right. We're about right on time. So, Nick, you want to remind the good folks out there where we can be found, sir, please.
I would love to do that if only.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
Could you take us out and your choice of your favorite rock song? Whatever rock
There you go.
song.
And my
you
choice of my favorite rock song.
Or rock voice. Actually, rock voice would be a lot more fun. You've done Barry Gibb before.
Well,
So
that's
give
true,
me-
baby. I have. But now, this time.
Mhm.
Bam, bam.
Dun,
Bam, bam.
dun.
So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go over to the World Wide Web, and you're going to type in your Google machine, convincing idiots. And you're going to type in, and you're going to search for a link tree, little mama. LINKTREE. That's right, baby. A link tree. And right there, you're going to find links to all them social media accounts. And then, after that, coming up, you're going to go over to our website. And then, you're going to go over there, and you're going to find all them same links that you had on the link tree over at convincingidiots.wordpress.com. That's
Yeah.
right. So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I'm the king of millennials, Nick.
And you're buying your Stairway to the Zennial Dean.
I can't top any of that. I'm Brian. Gen
That's
X.
all right, Brian. There you go.
Yeah.
A little bit funky on the memory, but we're going to get it. Go ahead, baby. Gen X.
Brian, Gen X.
That's right.
Yes.
So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, we wish you do. We bid you do. Have we convinced you that Oreo is Milk's favorite cookie? Good night.
Oh my. Oh, my breasts. Oh.